I don't know why you don't start the record every time, John.
I don't know why John does what he does sometimes.
Yeah.
John just does it.
It's like that, what's that that movie, freaking Adam Sandler? Is it Big Daddy?
Yeah, maybe.
Where like we wasted like the surprise on you, like the happy birthday surprise. We waste the happy birthday surprise every time we get together and we start talking because we don't hit the record button. And then once it goes, all right, John, go ahead and record. And then it's like
Crickets.
freaking crickets.
Yeah.
Like everybody's staring at each other like, somebody else going to go first?
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
well, Jen was just talking about stipulations that he's gonna have once we get a big contract with I don't know.
Whoever.
TV
It
or
doesn't
somebody,
matter. It
whatever
doesn't
is.
matter.
Yeah.
I just want to know that there's certain things that I'm going to want, right? I'm not a diva or anything like that.
You are.
But I'm just saying. And what did you say earlier? Reese's peanut butter or something? Yeah.
I'm just saying there won't be Reese's Pieces in our dressing room. There will only be peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, you're going for the off-brand peanut butter
Okay.
peanut butter candies.
So in this
Okay.
Yeah,
dream,
because
in this-
M&M's is the off-brand.
It is.
in this dream scenario you're thinking of, we're sharing a dressing room. Is that what's happening here?
No, I'm just saying in all the dressing rooms.
Oh,
we'll
you're just
only
going to make
get-
sure that
yeah.
ours. Okay,
Reese's
all right.
Pieces will not be allowed in the building.
Look, if it was good enough for ET, it's good enough for me.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like saying, like, what if, like, speaking of, like, how crazy things actually get, right? So there are, like, some of these rappers, right? They got a lot of, like, not just rappers, right? I'm just saying that people that are, like,
The artists. They
The
have,
artists,
they have a lot
right,
of
yeah.
brands.
No green M&Ms.
they get crazy,
Yeah.
right? Like, what was the dude we saw over here at what was it? The Frontier Fiesta cook-off we did? Who was that artist? And one of his things was like he wanted like three or four, it was like 8 bottles of Cristal, and he wanted whatever. It was all this whatever. And the last thing was like, I want like 10 boxes of condoms. He's on a college campus, man. You're like, dude.
Oh,
this
Frontier Fiesta.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're talking about it's that rapper that believes in flat Earth.
Oh, okay. I
You
didn't
know
know
what I'm
it was
talking
him.
about? I can't. We talked about it on the show before.
I know that
can't
was
remember what
him.
episode it was, but yeah, it's him. He believes the Earth is flat.
Well, he wanted like a crazy amount of box of rubbers. I'm like, dude, you're just be slaying college girls. Like, dude, like that's not the image you want for a barbecue cook-off for one. But this dude was like,
Hey.
whatever, I'm getting paid.
I'm gonna get mine.
Yeah, whatever.
Apparently, a lot of his.
I guess he did. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he gave him away or something. Here to all of his friends.
Yeah, I did see earlier today. Rich O'Toole tweeted out that whatever the backstory is, I don't know, but that I guess Pringles is now like a Texas A&M thing. They're going to start, I guess, selling Pringles at the stadium, or there's some deal. I don't know what the story was. Maybe Rich, if you ever hear this, and we'll tweet this out to you. I don't know what the deal is between Pringles and Texas A&M, but it got me thinking. If Texas A&M is Pringles, then what other organizations and schools or whatever? What are they?
What would be their chip?
Yeah. What would Longhorns?
Chip of choice?
What would the Longhorns be?
Like now? I don't know. Like, I don't want to say because they just.
I don't know, but Pringles suck, so
Yeah. Good thing you're not
That's what I was
Pringles.
thinking.
I don't like Pringles at all.
Good thing you're not Pringles, Texas.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, like, what is the worst chip?
Pringles. It tastes like cardboard.
Worse?
No.
Nah, come on,
Yes,
not
they're
worse.
bad.
Sun chips?
I'd
I
rather
actually-
eat
I
Sun
like
Chips
Sun
all
Chips.
day
Yeah, I
than
like Sun
Pringles.
Chips.
Pringles are awful.
Are you serious?
It tastes like it's not even the chip. It's like compressed. Like they shouldn't all be the same shape. Potatoes are not all the same shape. It's not right. There's something wrong. It's like they mush it all together and then form it into a chip. It's
Yeah,
just
they,
gross.
They chew it all up for
Exactly. Somebody's pre-chewing that shit.
you, and then they form it into a nice little
Blech.
curvature chip, and then you can have fun with it. You can turn it around. You can stack it like a
Duck
duck
lips?
bill.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's
Okay,
gross.
look.
Kids having fun.
Okay, I don't think they're the best chip. I don't think they're the worst chip. I'm not eating Sun Chips. Not eating those. And there's
Look, I
like
can go.
anything baked chip. Not
Yeah, you're not
not
rich for
eating
that.
you. Okay.
I can go into my house and I can pull out the big variety pack,
Yeah.
and you can literally determine yourself what the worst
In your household.
chip is in
Right,
my
right,
household.
in your household.
Yeah, and it's always the multi-grain,
Yeah.
cheddar baked sun
Sun-
chip or whatever it is.
Thank
Right.
you.
I would still
It's-
rather
it's
have
done.
that than a
I eat
Pringle.
those. I eat those. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take those.
I'll take those too.
What's the best chip? Real quick, just right off the bat. Go.
I guess if I'm just buying one, it's probably going to be like barbecue chips or something. I don't know, just basic barbecue.
Yeah.
Maybe ruffle. I don't know.
So
You're
if we're
fine.
sticking
you only
there-
have one. So
I'm
you're
just
done.
saying,
John,
I
you're
think-
done. You're,
Barbecue
sorry.
ruffles. That's one. That's just one.
If we're sticking in the college football realm, would I don't know? Would Alabama be the barbecue Lay's
No,
chip?
dude.
Or the regular Lay's?
No,
Neither one
they're
of
like
them.
a white sauce, so they're like I don't know what they are.
Sour
Ala-
cream and onion.
You're right.
Yeah, Alabama's like maybe sour cream and onion. It's a really good chip, right? People
It is
like
a good
that.
chip.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
consistent. I don't know.
We may be going off the rails.
I was just
on this
saying the best-
conversation.
You
What-
think?
What is
It's chili cheese Fritos. Okay, I'm
Those are
sorry
good.
you messed it
I
up.
do like
You
those.
did not say it. It is what it is.
what about Funyuns?
I
Nope,
love Funyuns.
I don't like Funyuns.
No,
I love
they're
Funyuns.
disgusting.
They're gross.
Yeah, they're great.
They're down the bottom.
Ugh.
Are they're
You
like
like
some?
them?
I used to like them as a kid. I don't really care for them now. They're okay.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
like? Are they like some California team? Like I figure Funyuns be like Oregon State, or
Because the O.
No, Oregon would
Nah.
be some kind of like
No.
healthy chip. It would-
Yeah.
maybe it's the yellows.
Like
Yeah, no, it's a deep fried
somewhere
onion. It's
like
like Arkansas
Kansas
or something.
or
I don't know.
Idaho.
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Anyways,
that's a potato.
Anyways,
That's Idaho's got to be the regular Lay's.
Yeah, a plain potato chip.
Yeah.
yeah.
Way to go, Idaho. With your plain vanilla football.
Right.
There goes all of our Idaho listeners.
I'm just kidding.
And welcome to the Grabbing of the Brisket podcast, guys. Hey, this has been fun. These are very informative lessons that we are teaching you.
teaching.
You'll learn a lot of stuff.
I don't know about that.
I mean,
Yeah. Canola oil. Chips. Yum.
I guess it is.
No, I'm just kidding. No, listen, the ritual tool tweet or whatever it was. I think it's here's the deal. Write in, let us know what team a certain chip would be, or what your favorite college team's chips it would be, or whatever.
yes,
right?
write in or just leave us a message and we'll
Yeah.
play it.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody's week?
Every Whitey's weekend.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
The W's.
Let me rephrase this here.
Yeah. As he
By
takes another,
rephrase it, let me drink it.
it takes another drink.
I had to work Father's Day, so I didn't get to do much.
That sucks, man.
It was all right.
Did the kids reach out to you?
Yeah, I pretty much heard from all of them.
Really nice. It really feels good. I like that.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, I heard from. I did hear from all of my kids, different platforms and such. Right. Well, that was kind of odd.
Right.
I did text my son. He texted me like it was like 9:00 at night or something. He didn't even. He just made it home. He'd come by the house. I was there. We just didn't see each other. Didn't say anything.
That's
So,
nice.
Yeah. He said, "Hey, I'm home." I said, "All right." He goes, "I'll catch you. Let's hang out tomorrow. Let's have lunch." I said, "Okay, sounds good."
So
it
how was
good.
lunch?
Oh, we didn't have lunch,
Okay.
but it doesn't matter.
What is
Look, it's not a big deal.
what is the worst platform to be told?
Happy birthday on.
I
would think
congratulations, happy Father's Day, happy birthday. What's the worst platform to be told on?
I would think right now, like Facebook, just seems it's nice. Or tweeting. I guess if you were to do a tweet, hey, happy Father's Day, on a tweeter, or whatever they call it. I don't know.
Twitted it.
I twitted it. Hey,
He's a Twitterer.
yeah.
At
So
JanDad _
Yeah.
happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. Yeah, that would suck. I think Facebook's good. I just think Facebook is like for friends and like family,
It's
but like
probably the best of the
but
platforms.
not immediate family.
Yeah. But it's social media, right?
No, right. You say, yeah, it's a social. Yes, I get that, but that's not where you should, from your immediate family, you should see it maybe like more on a personal level.
That should
right?
be like the bonus.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to hear from him either in person or worse,
right.
case,
Call
phone.
yeah, something. Hey, pops.
It's nice to see
Right.
it on Facebook, but that's not where you
Yeah.
want to see it first.
Yeah, that's all right.
All I
It is
know,
what it
all I
is.
know is
People get
if
busy.
people forget about Father's Day, it's like whatever. It's not that
Right.
big a deal. You forget about Mother's Day though,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
hell to pay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was the thing. It's like Father's Day is like the 20th. It's number 20 on the list of favorite holidays.
Yeah, right.
Right. Arbor Day beat out Father's Day.
Right. Mother's Day is like number 3 or
2. Right behind Christmas. Yeah. Christmas 1, Mother's Day 2nd. I mean, I did ask my wife, or I was just like,
We do love all you mothers.
yeah.
I did not get that questionnaire to vote on that. I don't know where that questionnaire is being sent to, but
I guess if
they didn't
you
get
were
my 2 cents.
Yeah. No.
It just went to wives.
Yeah. It's probably that
Father's Day number
same
20.
group that created that whole Father's Day gift ideas.
Yeah.
They're probably the ones that still vote on
Probably.
what the best holidays is.
Well, I want to
I-
call up my parents here because I want to see if they're actually listening to this episode or not. They got me for Father's Day kind of a nice polo shirt. It's one of those like stretchy kind of dry fit ones.
Nice.
That was cool. And then a container of like unsalted mixed nuts. And I was kind of like,
Well,
I was like,
you
okay,
know
the shirt's
salt's bad
fine,
for you, right?
but why did you even get me? It's like a Target brand like thing of nuts.
I would love
And I
that.
was
I
just
eat
like-
that shit all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Gift that keeps on giving,
I
Clark.
know.
But I was just like, why?
Maybe it's because like you've been losing weight and all this. Like, this is
You're
kind of a
healthy.
healthy little protein snack. No salt, no whatever. Like, I don't know. Your parents are awesome. Don't talk bad about your parents.
I appreciate you trying to justify it.
I'm just saying. I think they're great. You know what goes great with mixed nuts though? The crab and brisket.
Beer review. What do we have here today, guys? I'm
James
excited.
brought something. What do you got, James?
Oh, I get the introduction.
You
here.
brought the beer. You get the introduction.
Okay. Well, we have another one by Martin House Brewery.
Can we do
I think
anything else
that's-
besides Martin? Is
I
this
think
the
that's
last one of the
only
year?
thing that's- I don't know.
H-E-B only
I think
sells
it's the
Martin
only
House.
one that is sold by HEB.
Right.
Yeah, John. So, but what got me, and they obviously did this on purpose. It's their marketing gurus over there. Wrap this can, and the name of this thing is "Our Pet's Head Are Falling Off." That's not the name of it. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
our
a double.
our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, it's a
You gotta
double
say it right,
IPA.
Yeah,
Eight-
go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, it's our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah. So it's definitely got Petey from
Dumb and Dumber.
correct,
Yes.
along with the baseball cards and the marbles. So definitely got the Dumb and Dumber vibe. Got the orange and the blue signature colors with the suits that they're wearing. Super awesome. I mean, that's what sold me on the cans. I was like, I got to buy it now.
Yeah. We'll post a little picture / video of this can because this is one of my favorite cans we've got, and this thing is pretty freaking hilarious, pretty awesome. So check it out. We'll post it all over the place.
And while I'm going, I'll go. It's a nice little IPA. It's 8%. I'm not. Maybe I'm starting to like IPAs just
like
a little
it's
bit.
so weird, right?
But-
You know why? It's the time of year.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
hot.
it's the hot. The fruits and vegetables are coming out right now. People are eating those already. You're eating more oranges and watermelon. It just
I don't
flows.
know. Like IPAs, I used to always feel like I was licking a pine tree, but this isn't bad. This is pretty good.
Is there orange in this? Like, are you guys tasting a little orange
I
in
think
this
there's
one?
always orange in IPAs.
I think that might be cutting that a little bit, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the solid like 7.0.
Oh, okay. Well, let me go next
That is
because
the
I was thinking 7.1.
Dumbest score.
So
People could you just keep doing
That's
this
a
over
rookie
and
score.
over
he
again?
keeps going to the point.
You just can't do it. Like you just deal in half numbers now
It's
or
a-
whole numbers.
It's a grabbing the brisket score.
There it is.
He gets that response from you, and that's
kid.
why he does it.
I
You're
know.
feeding
I'm
into
sorry.
it.
I forgot. It's been a while. I haven't said anything for a long time. I'm
It's
like,
true.
but we're still going to keep doing
Right,
this.
he keeps doing it. It's like
I
you
thought if
might
I
as well
quit,
say
he would
something.
quit. But guess not.
No,
Okay.
I give it a
Touche.
7.1. It's a very IPA, but like you said, not real like piney. It's got a little orange flavor in there, cutting that a little bit.
I like this. Like I would drink more of this if James had given me more than half a glass. I would have drank more.
There's another whole full one, John.
Okay, I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna go 7.6. I think this is good. This is probably the best IPA I've had. This is pretty good.
Wow,
I like
okay.
this. Yeah.
All right.
I'll drink it again.
Yeah, I actually may be right there with you, John. It's a very good, very smooth beer. The bitterness, I mean, there's some bitterness there, but it's not.
It's in a good way.
It's in a great way, right? This thing just finishes so smooth. I mean, I'm literally drinking a light, a Miller Lite, right, and switching over to this beer, and I'm like, easy,
Right.
no problem.
I feel like we're evolving. Are we evolving?
I think so. Yeah. We were 7.6.
I was 7.6.
I'm a 7. I'm like a 7.5, 7.4. I'm gonna say 7.5. 7.5.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're all kind of in the same ballpark for once. You know?
There it is.
There it is.
Hey, it's a grabbing the brisket.
Beer review. All right, let's take a quick break. Play some commercials for you to listen to for your ear holes.
Mm-hmm. Pay the bills.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go
we
ahead.
have Robert Rocha with So Smokin Gooder podcast, and also Bullhorn BBQ.
The competition team.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal down here in the Houston area. But before we jump into that, let's get into the hot off the grill barbecue news.
I like the way that sizzles.
Yeah, that sounds good, right? And I don't have a bunch for us. I just have kind of a little recap. The Denver Barbecue Festival apparently was a huge hit. They had like 60,000 people come through. So if you're a listener in that area and made it out to that thing, we'd love to hear how that went.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop us a voicemail. We
Also-
will definitely put it on the show.
It's at the end of this week. We're going to have our GoFundMe up, grabbing the
Would you
brisket.
stop?
I'm being dead serious. We're going to have our GoFundMe up for grabbing the brisket. And here's the deal: we're not dying. Right? None of us are dying. We don't. We like beer. We like barbecue.
We just
like,
want some money
We
to
like
buy
hanging
stuff.
out. But if you want to fund us to go to these awesome places, great. Send us 50 cents. We'll go buy some beer money with it. Right? It doesn't matter. But it'll be up. We'll let
Just
you know where it
50
is.
cents.
That's right.
50 cents a
50,
day.
50 cents a day. You yourself can sponsor a grabbing the brisket.
Sponsor an idiot. Okay.
So I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. We're going to listen next year at this time. We're going to be in Colorado. Is that where that was? What'd you say?
Yeah, Denver.
We're going to be in Denver,
Mile High Stadium.
at Mile High Stadium, and we're going to be there reporting and cooking and having all this fun time. Even though you couldn't be there, but we're going to come back
Right.
and tell you how it was.
Like, where's John Elway at? I'm going to kick your ass.
Kick your ass. Then I'm going to try to throw a football when I'm in that stadium. Just so I
I
can
can throw football farther than you.
That's right.
All right. So the only other little bit of news I have is that apparently there are going to be 4 to 5 new barbecue television shows that are going to be on like mainstream media for us coming this fall / winter. And I tried to get more info on that, and he was like, "I have nothing else. Like that's all. This is just a little teaser."
Who did this
I
come
guess.
from?
This is from Kel Phelps, which is our sponsor of the segment, Barbecue News Magazine and the NBBQA. Yeah, but that's all I got. It's just enough to make you go, "Oh, I want more."
I know, but here's the deal. Like, do I need to tell Kel, I need to interview in one of these shows?
Do you think he's got like the pull to get you on
He
one of
knows
these?
people.
I
I'm
bet
telling
he
you right
does.
now, he does know people. If you want to get in and try to get your ass on one of these freaking barbecue shows, then you better get down and you better start subscribing to the NBBQA. This is how you're going to get in. This is how you're going to get on TV.
Follow
I'm
grabbing
just
the
saying.
brisket, too.
Right.
I'm just
right.
saying. And then also, we'll give you Kel's home phone number and you keep calling him.
Okay, we're done here. And that's all we've got for Hot Off the Grill Barbecue News.
I love it. Yeah. Hey, so just a brief little thing real quick. We are having some problems with everybody is, right? It's not just us or me or whatever. High gas prices, high electricity rates. Everybody's being plagued with these problems. Like, I'm not here to give you like this is what the solution is, right? There is no solution. I can't give it to you,
Everybody's
right?
feeling the squeeze.
Inflation's going to go up, or it's going to be cut, or I don't know how that works. We're going to go into recession, whatever the case maybe is. But here's the deal. I'm not going to name any names, right? But I did perform a walkthrough today at a oil company facility. I can't give you more than that, right? I can't tell you how many letters it has in its name or whatever.
Can we guess? If we guess it right, will you?
I would be like, yeah, you're right. Maybe. I would maybe say something. But here's the deal. I did walk by, and listen, this is like a compound they have here in Houston area. But I did go by their facility, and, dude, they were having a fucking party in that
Really?
place, dude. And not like a normal, like it's like a party for the people type deal.
Right.
But they're bringing in like ice creams and popcorn.
Really?
People were playing ping pongs.
Did
and
you
like,
drop off a sponsorship packet? That's
no,
all I want to know.
I didn't say anything. I was
Like
out.
they're ramping up.
I wasn't even allowed to
production.
go in.
Everybody's getting busy. Everybody's getting raises.
No, this is in the corporate.
Going-
This is like in their corporate buildings
Oh, okay.
type. This is in their campus facilities. But here's the deal: if they're having parties, why are y'all like jumping up and down? Why are y'all like so jubilee? Then I started thinking, I was like, oh, gas is like $80
$80 a gallon?
fucking gallon of whatever. No wonder y'all are jumping.
Right.
No wonder there's a circus line of caterers coming in.
Right.
You know, and yeah, hey,
You should have dropped off a sponsor packet.
I
They
want
can
to take,
afford it right now.
I was going to take a video and be like, this is where our
Yeah,
dollar
nah,
bills are
can't
headed.
do that. Then
no,
you get canceled.
I don't want to get canceled. And I'll tell you something else. You know what? You got to spend your money. It looked like everybody was so happy though. I was like, damn, I want to work here. I want to be happy like this.
Right. Well, that's kind of
I want a job
Southwest's
like
whole
this.
thing. Like
They give back to the employees, right?
Yeah, like their whole thing is you serve your internal customers and they'll serve your external customers. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like your internal customers being your employees.
Yeah,
You take care of them, they'll take care of everything else. So
I love that.
like, at their headquarters, I mean, it was 16 years ago when I was there for training, but they would have a deck party, which is like they have a big patio that overlooked like where planes were taking off at the field. Every single Friday, there'd be people out there getting turned up.
In Dallas?
Yeah. Like it's a party every
I
Friday.
don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not. Like it may have slowed down for the pandemic, but Southwest
I
does
don't
not mess
understand.
around when it comes to that.
I don't understand why it's 16 years for you, John. Like, are you like are you banned? Did you do something a long time ago that?
No, I just never made it back up there. I would like to go back up there. I'd like to take my kids
It's
up there
4
just to
hours.
see it. But I mean, it's a 45-minute flight. I could get on for free, but I would like to go back up there and see because I know a lot of stuff has changed, but it's haven't done it.
I will leave you with this. Like, when you say you have somebody servicing your internal customers, I really have the vision of getting a colonoscopy
or blowjob.
because
Colonoscopy
but I don't know
or
how that
blowjob?
factors.
know
Like
what
he
he's talking
services
about.
the inside, but how does that affect the outside?
No, internal customers. You
Internals.
take care of your employees.
Oh, okay.
They're going to take care of your customers.
Sicko.
What's wrong with you?
My bad.
Get it together, bro.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think we've got Rob ready.
We have a awesome guest and an awesome show planned for you. We have Rob Arocha from So Smokin Gooder Podcast Show and Bullhorn BBQ. Hey, Rob. Hey, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to shoot a little shit with us.
Man, I'm excited to be here, guys. Thank you very much for inviting me.
I'm super stoked about this one. It was like 3 or 4 years ago, James was like, "Hey, you got to check out this podcast, So Smokin Gooder Show. It's about barbecue." And I'm like, "That's awesome. What the hell is a podcast?" Like, I didn't know what the hell it was. So, but it was definitely the first podcast I ever listened to, and definitely kind of, I think, pushed us into the direction of trying to do our own thing, right?
100%. Yeah. So, you doing your thing laid some groundwork for us even attempting to do our thing a little bit, you know?
Well, I love what you guys are doing with your podcast and your show. You guys are becoming TikTok famous, which I love. I think it's great, and I love the fact that you guys are a group doing this thing. It's fun to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, some of those social media platforms are just so kind of fickle. It's like it's you. We really focused on Instagram for a while, as I see JM over here making fun of me. But we focused on Instagram. Instagram and Facebook was our deal. We're like, okay, we're going to target this. This is what we're going to go after. And it was just there. It was just like, no matter what we did, we were just okay. And then TikTok came around. It was like, okay, let's. Hey, I was like, John, hey, have you seen this app TikTok? I mean, my kid's like enamored with it.
Dancing.
Yeah, but hold on. There was also a lot of things like, because at that time, like it was like, don't get on TikTok. China owns. You know what I mean? You're going to get. There was
some of that.
There was
Yeah,
this
for sure.
stigma about it, and you're like,
virus.
do we download this? They have facial recognition. Like there was all this. You're like, what the? What am I worried about? Like,
Got to risk it for the
brother,
brisket.
I got like 50 million photos of myself on every other platform out there. Like, what am I worried about? This one thing? I'm dumb.
Right. Yeah.
So
I said we jumped on there, and in Low Mole, we hit a video that, I mean, went viral, and then you hit another one that does okay, and then you do one that you're really proud of, and you spent like hours making.
Nothing happened.
thousands of
100
dollars.
views, 100
Yeah.
plus views. You're like, I think I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah, I retire.
I'm done.
Right.
So,
I'm in the same boat, so I'm trying to figure this TikTok thing out, or the algorithms and what they are. The most viewed thing I have, which is probably nothing to you guys, it's like 20,000 views, and it was just some random BS that some guys were playing Wii golf at the American Royal. I'm like trying to plan these cool ass videos in my mind. Probably not as cool as people think, but I'm thinking these are cool. These are neat. I think people want to see this kind of background things.
Right.
And the randomest thing I did was like film 2 guys playing Wii golf at the American Royal, and I got 20,000 views. I just don't understand it, and I don't know if you guys understand it yet, but
No.
yeah, it's just some random bullshit.
there's no rhyme or reason, and it doesn't matter like what you. I think the biggest thing is be consistent, but whatever you think is like, this is not going to do anything, that's the one that's going to blow up.
What's the like throw something against the wall and see if it sticks?
Right,
I think
exactly.
that's really the mentality you have to kind of have. And to be honest with you, the more production value and everything that goes into it, you could raise the stakes and maybe get a lot more views from that way.
Maybe,
but you could not, right? But I do see a lot of times the randomness to your video as far as like something that nobody's really ever like something very obscure probably would do really well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like throwing actually paint against a wall and just watching it just drain down for 30 minutes may get you
Right.
Right. If you had
a
posted,
million views,
if you posted
you
a
know?
picture or a video of a brisket at the American Royale, there was probably 100 of them going out that day.
Yeah.
You posted
Right.
golf, so someone was like, "What the hell?" And then
Right.
it just takes one share to the next
That's
share,
right.
and it is what it is.
Yeah, I think one thing that I guess we have been focusing on, and a lot of people as well, and maybe you should too, as Rob. People love hearing other people comment on other shit.
It's true. Yeah, do the little duets or whatnot.
Yeah, the little duets where you see some video and you're like, "Hey, let me jump on here and comment on this guy's brisket video," or "Let me get on here and jump on and comment on this guy's like shitty ass video," and you make a couple of like comments, and next thing you know, people are like,
Everybody
"I
loves a
love
hater.
that."
yeah.
I do love y'all's brisket professor videos. Those are great. Those are great. Those are fun. And I see you trying to like give props to these guys, but occasionally you'll like, what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
What's going on there?
We try to be nice, but you
Yeah.
try to be honest at the same time.
Well, what's the one that like? There's one video that we have that has garnered so much attention as far as views wise, and it was
The hamburger thing.
Some other dude making a hamburger. I'm sorry, he ain't from. He's like this dude's like Austrian or something. This is not an American hamburger by any means. But
Didn't have American cheese on it.
nope,
Yeah,
it did
no.
not.
Looked
It
like
looked
a
like,
giraffe
it looked like
ankle.
a hockey puck.
No, it's not. It looks like a pale.
Yeah, it looked bad, slimy. It was not good.
Listen, if you if you see the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that one got duetted, and I was like, somebody goes,
It's like 4 million views or something.
This dude sprayed. It looked like a tube of sunscreen. It's like a mayo or something.
It might have been mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
called
said
it-
preparation.
It- Preparation H, and that thing just I know something
Yeah.
so dumb. But if you watch the video, you're like, well, I could see why you said that, or I
Right.
could see why that looks like sunscreen or whatever.
Well, like you said, the whole brisket professor thing was just another one of those throw it at the wall and see what sticks,
Yeah.
and it just happened
Yeah.
to take off, so we kept doing it.
One of the most random things I've seen, my buddy Aaron Leslie from Texas Old Dust, he did this simple video where he showed how to put foil, or, you guys have done competitions, but the foil in the box where you kind of put the foil in the bottom of the box and shape it. And then that's how it is. But he what he did was he put foil and just laid it on the box, and then he put another box on top of it and just slammed it on it. And it was like so
saw that.
simple.
it was perfect. I know.
It's 3.9 million
Oh,
views.
shit. Yeah. I'm making that video tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, are you kidding me? At the time, he had like, dude, it's at 200,000 views. This
Yeah.
was, a month ago. Now I just looked at it just right now, 3.9 million. I can't believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, you just throw something at the wall and see what sticks, and that's how it is on this social media thing. But I love it. I'll figure it out maybe one day where I'll have more than a 20,000 view Wii video. What's y'all's most viewed TikTok?
I think the hamburger
Yeah,
one
it's
we were referencing, I think it had 4.1 million views.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So weird.
Yeah, I'll send
That
you
is
over
amazing.
an autograph or something. It's no big
Yeah.
deal.
Right. You're so dumb.
I'm so
Yeah.
stupid.
So look, hey, it's not about the grabbing of the brisket. It's about the So Smokin Gooder, and it's about the Bullhorn BBQ. We want to get to know Rob Arocha. And am I saying the last name correctly, Rob?
You are saying it
Okay.
100% correctly.
We want to get to know you and how you got into
That's
barbecue.
right. Your brand,
and,
brother.
and the whole brand that you're bringing to the table. Because honestly, like we're fans, and we've competed against each other. I
Yep.
think you've kicked our butts a little bit more than we've kicked your butts. But we know you win everywhere you go. I mean, grand champions. You have so many grand champions and reserve grand champions under your belt, and you have so many like different cook-offs that you've competed in. and the American Royale. And I know you've been on some of the biggest stages out there, so we'd like to know a little bit more about you.
I appreciate that, guys. It's been a grind, man. It's not what you see now is not how it began. This has been a long grind. I used to be how I got started in barbecue. I'll start from way back when. It was I used to be part of this big team. You know, we had this one event that we did every year, and it was a big deal to us. It was at the Texas Association of First Responders, which I still do. I did that in April of this year. But at the time, I was part of this big team, and we had you guys have done this kind of thing with Chasing More Smoke, where you had a bunch of teams in one spot. We had 10 spots in one event to where you got 10 entries. So you got to be 10 chickens, 10 ribs, and 10 briskets. But this team would not let me cook any of the meats. I was this money guy at the time. You know, kind of what you guys kind of do. We're all outgoing. We all know how to attract attention to ourselves. And at the time, I was just the money guy for this team. So I would do a bunch of money, you know, garner a bunch of sponsorships for this event that we did once a year. And the only thing I was allowed to cook, or they let me cook, was this seafood entry. And I got to tell you, boys, I was badass at this seafood entry. I won like 8 years in a row.
That's awesome.
But at the time, I was just getting tired of it. You know, I was like bringing in all this money for this event, not getting to cook, and we weren't that good. I mean, we would win occasionally, get a walk or two. But again, we had 10 entries, so of course you're going to hit in a couple of these things.
Somebody's going to get lucky.
Yeah, you're going to get lucky at some point during this time. But I remember at that time, Barbecue Pitmasters was starting like in 2012, and I'd been part of this team for like 4 years, or probably longer than that. But again, I wasn't a cook, so I wasn't like cooking any of the brisket or the ribs or the chicken. And I told my buddy Tad at the time, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. I just want to go out there with a pop-up tent, because Tad had a pit. I said, let's bring your pit out there and let's just see what we do. And so we started, you know, doing that thing. And at the time, I was a big tailgater. You guys I know Brian, you're a Cowboy fan, but I'm a big Texan fan. And we started tailgating when the Texans started back in 2002. So we were always called the Bullhorn Tailgaters. Oh yeah. And the reason why we're called Bullhorn Tailgaters is because we used to drink out of this bullhorn before events. And so we would drink out of the horn for luck, you know, hoping we would win and whatnot. And that's how we became the Bullhorn Tailgaters. So it was naturally just became Bullhorn Barbecue in 2012 when we started this new team. And it took us a little while to get going, but that year was 2012. The next year, 2013, we grand championed that event, the Texas Association of First Responders, with that team that had their 10 spots. We had 2 at the time, and we wound up grand champion that thing. So it was fun for me. It was great because we had to walk in front of this team.
I love that.
to go and get our awards and whatnot, and it just validated what we were trying to do, and that's how So 2012 when we started, but really 2013 is when we became Bullhorn Barbecue, and we started doing a lot of content. Not even a lot of contests. At that time, I think we were doing probably 8 to 10, which seemed like a lot, which one a month. Now I'm doing, 32 per year. So it's different now. But when I started, I thought, man, I'm doing a lot of these things and this and that. And I had success early on, and then I had a lot of drought, where I wasn't successful. So, but it was just fun to start and to do our own little barbecue team, to where we had, at the time, actually, we still had a group. So kind of like what you guys were doing. We had, 5 guys that would come out there and do our thing. And, we had to, hey, which brisket do you think is best, right? And everybody would cook a brisket and this and that. And we were trying to choose. And it just became a big mess. Right. Eventually, you figure out who's real serious about this kind of thing and who's not. And, the guys that showed up at, 6 o'clock when we had been there since 11, those kind of things, you kind of weed them out. And then eventually it just became me and Tad, and eventually it just became myself and me and my wife now. And so that's the way Bullhorn barbecue started, and it's, we haven't looked back since. So it's kind of fun to look back at those days when these guys wouldn't let me cook it all to now I'm like instructing barbecue and having this podcast that I do a barbecue show in and contributing to the barbecue scene. So I'm real proud of what we've done. And again, I love the fact that you guys invited me on here. It's great.
Dude, that's such, there's so much, there's a lot of similarities in there with things that you've said just a minute ago and things that I think a lot of competition or competitors go through that same type of, it's like we used to cook with Chasing More Smoke. We don't cook with those guys. I still like the guys. I still hang out with the guys. I wish them luck all the time. And those guys have been GCing left and right. I mean, they are a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they are.
And we've taken a back seat to a lot of the cook-offs here probably in the last couple of years with COVID and everything else. I do see us probably getting back out there a little more and competing a lot more. I think earlier this year we did Austin?
Yeah.
The Austin Rodeo, and that I'm not going to lie, that kind of brought in a little extra, oomph
gives
for
you
me.
that itch, right?
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm ready to really compete right now, and we did get lucky enough to get called.
Kindled that fire a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
You said 32 a year though. At first I was like, oh, that sounds great. And I was like, fuck, that sounds like a lot of work.
It's so much, right?
Dude, I was thinking like maybe a dozen a year would be like.
And I got a story about that later, but y'all can continue what you're doing.
No, I'm just saying, like, we had practiced, and listen, we're always practicing. We're always trying to get better. We're always cooking and competing against each other a little bit. But we were very common in we're only going to produce a protein of brisket, a protein of chicken, and a protein of we're not going to have 10 different ones that we're doing or 3 different ones that we're doing.
Right.
Consistency is the key, and we're trying to be as consistent as possible. And I think it showed a lot on that first cook-off we did this year with Austin Rodeo. 189 entries or 190 plus entries, and we walked out with 5th place chicken. That tells me that obviously on that day those judges were digging what we were putting down, right? And that right there sparked. I was like, "Ugh, damn it! I'm really wanting to do 20 of these right now."
It just takes one walk, right?
Yeah,
one rock.
It does.
I'm the greatest cook alive.
It's like golf, right? Yeah, you hit that one shot.
That guys was honestly, I live in this competitive barbecue world. That was a huge walk for you guys because I remember I was driving back from a contest. I don't remember where it was, but I remember those awards were on Sunday, which is different, right? So I'm driving back from a contest and I'm tuning into the awards, and I was so proud of you guys. That was awesome to see you guys get that call because that was a big ass contest, the Austin Rodeo, and you guys. I remember seeing your awesome pit. Y'all were showcasing it that weekend, and then to hear you guys get a call, I was super proud of you guys. I mean, that was awesome, and to have a call in that field, in that venue with that many teams out there was pretty awesome, man. You guys should be definitely proud of that.
Oh yeah.
We are,
and we actually had. I mean, to be honest with you, we actually had hopes when we went in there and the way we executed. And there was a few things with the ribs. The brisket, whatever the brisket actually was top. It was a top 20 brisket, I think, or top 21 out of
somewhere in there. But it's always the protein that you don't think is going to be the best.
That's right.
The best.
Right.
I don't understand.
That's true.
But we were very confident. Like I knew our brisket would be. I was thinking, okay, top 20 on brisket.
As soon as we hit chicken, I was like, oh, we're grand champion, and this motherfucker, it's on now.
I know,
it's on.
Give me a 5th place chicken.
Should I just stand up here by the?
I know,
by the trophies,
right? Because I was like, ribs are a lock, but I didn't. I knew ribs were good. They just weren't the best ribs that we have put out there, and there were issues with them. I mean, could you take a bite from the bone? Yeah, could you? But there were certain things. There's certain nuances with every cook that we do, and you do, and everybody else. Like you have a method and the way you want that thing to be presented, and we just did not hit that mark. And I think, hey, it's there, or whatever else. But I I'm not gonna lie to you. I was thinking grand champion. But we go into every cook-off thinking we're gonna grand champion. We don't go in. I don't go in anymore wanting a call. I want a couple of calls, and I want the round.
I want all the calls.
I want the numbers to show up that I get grand champion or reserve. But
Stupid.
I'm just saying we don't go into it thinking like, oh, but it's got a call, right?
Yeah.
I love that, and that's honestly that's the right mindset. You have to go in there winning, right?
Yep.
If you go in there and like, oh man, look who's here, look at this guy, and oh my gosh, what are we doing here, and this and that, you've already lost.
Yeah.
So go in there with that mindset, and I'm glad that you went in there with that mindset, because that right there will set you up for success versus going in there and saying, oh man, I mean, Fred Robles is here, Bill Purvis is here, Phil Breeden is here, and it makes you step your game up for sure, but don't go in there and say I can't win this thing. Go in there and say I'm gonna beat their ass, and I'm gonna prove it right now. Let's go.
Right. That's right.
I mean, we did definitely say some of that when we saw them. They were like, "Oh shit, you should see who's here."
Yeah,
but
you can't help it, right?
Yeah, you can't help it. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we've had all these guys on the show, and they're awesome guys. But I want to hear your story. You were saying you had a story about 32 contests a year.
Yeah. So me, I've been a guy that I do the show. I have I don't. You guys know me very. Y'all know a little bit about me, but I've got kids that are 15 and 13, and I do baseball. I coach baseball and this and that. And so, before COVID, I was a big baseball coach and supporting my kids doing all that, and I still do. But once COVID hit, the league started, there weren't baseball leagues or whatever, so we tried to do a little more competitions. And then 2021 came back around to where things were opening back up, and I was doing a lot of more competitions because there wasn't no baseball. So the leagues were still not doing a bunch of baseball. And so I was able to have these free weekends to where I was able to do some contests. So I would go out there and do some contests, and I was figuring shit out. I was starting to win some of these things, or at least place higher than what I was normally doing. I started, my chicken came around, my ribs came around. There was a time to where all three of them were just like hitting, and I started winning some contests. And at that time, when you win contests or you place high, you start winning money, right? And so when you win money, it makes it easier to, okay, well, I can now afford to go the next weekend and this and that. So that's kind of where it went. And I remember somebody telling me, is like, man, Rob, you're doing really well in chicken. And I looked up and I didn't realize it, but I was sitting in number one in chicken. This was when the CBA was going. And so and so I was sitting there at number one in chicken. And then I was sitting there at number 5 in like pork. And so I just looked up and I was like, okay. Yeah, and then my wife and I talked, and it was like, look, we're sitting here at number 1. We were at number 1 in all of CBA. And at the time, CBA was just getting started. So being number 1 in CBA at that point was great. You had like the Robert Smiths, you had the Fred Robleses, you had the Bill Purvises, but Bill and Phil were kind of doing the KCBS kind of thing. So, but you had a lot of these good cooks that were going. It wasn't like it is this year. This year, everybody's cooking CBA. And I'm sitting in 8th at the moment, but I was sitting there number 1, and I was like, all right, well, let's try and win this damn thing. And so I went from doing probably 12 to 15 contests a year, probably once a month, maybe twice a month at best. So, and then to going from that to doing like 32 to 38 contests, and just finding myself in this points chase where I never thought. I remember being this show host going, man, I don't understand how these guys are cooking every weekend, and this and that is so expensive, all the meat prices, all the entry fees. But yeah, when you start winning a little bit, it kind of makes it easier to continue to do that drive. And then of course your competitive fire just kind of hits you, and you just want to prove yourself and do this other deal. So last year I finished 3rd overall. Robert Smith came on strong at that time. I remember last year the guy just could not lose. He was just killing it. Stacy Brenneman came along and was just doing as well. But so from going from 15 to 18 contests a year to 32 and 38 or whatever was just something that I didn't plan on doing. But when you find yourself in this points chase and then you're competing and then you have like Robert Smith calling you, hey, where we're going next weekend and this and that. And it was just fun to do. Right now, I kind of find myself in this pivotal moment to where I could actually chase points right now, or I can just, maybe chase a category. And I don't know what I'm going to do right now because it's fucking hot outside. I just don't want to be out there in the summer right now.
Texas
this
is
weekend,
melting down. There's
a contest where I'm sitting second in pork in a 6 series points chase. This weekend is going to be 104, 105 in Houston. And Seguin is going to be like 106, 107. I'm like, I don't know.
Right. I just came. It's like once you're outside all day, no big deal. But once you go inside, you're like, I don't know if I want to go
and
out
then
there.
In a trailer,
Yeah.
Your AC works only so much in that heat.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like your home AC. You're only doing a 15,000 BTU deal, and it will cool for sure. Don't get me wrong. It's way better than being under a tent with no wind or nothing like that. But
right.
So I don't know if I'm going to chase points this year or whatnot. But that's how I found myself in a points chase. You kind of look up and find yourself, hey, I'm sitting here, okay. And then that's how guys, I think, figure out, hey, am I going to chase points? And you have that conversation with yourself and say, hey, do I want to do this or not? Because it costs A, time, B, money, and then, your travel. And right now, gas prices are fucking stupid right now. So
crazy.
Electricity rates are crazy right now.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up with that.
It's all stupid.
It is.
Right now.
I will. There's a couple of takeaways from this conversation we're just having right now, and I want to go and just these are maybe not your takeaways, but these are my takeaways.
Are you
right?
taking notes? Is this something I need to
it's
write
just
down?
certain
Let's hear it.
Okay, here it goes. If you want to keep cooking, just win, baby. Just win, right? Mm-hmm. And that will subsidize your willingness able to get a next cook off. Right?
I'm obligated to keep
You
cooking.
just gotta win. Also, I think you're exactly right. I think guys keep cooking and they keep grinding and they look up and they go, damn, I'm 8th or I'm 6th or I'm sitting first. And if you're sitting first, there's no way you're going to relinquish that very easily. You're not giving it up. So at that point, you're like, no. If you want this, come and take it. So my 2 ways were just win, baby, and then come and take it. And come and take it means, hey, this is why you got to chase points now.
If you want it, you got to beat me.
That's right.
Right. So I was going to ask, CBA, is it your top 10 contests you use the points for? Is that how it works?
At the end of the
right.
term?
At the end of the year, it's your best 10 for that whatever given. Okay.
Yeah. So full disclosure, I am on the board of CBA. I'm the director of media, which actually, guys, came about to where these guys saw me doing the show. And they said, hey, guys, we're starting a new organization. We've been watching you. You've been doing well cooking. I know Fred and Roddy at the time, we weren't like boys or nothing like that. We were just acquaintances and competitors. But they saw what we were doing, what I was doing with the So Smokin Gooder Show. And they said, hey, guys, or hey, Rob, would you like to come on board as one of the founding fathers, and we would like to make you director of media. And I'm just like, hell yes, this is great. And knowing with what Fred was, his vision, I talked to Fred in depth. I talked to Roddy in depth, and they explained to me what they were planning on doing, and just being a part of doing what you guys are doing with this, with your show. What I was doing with my show, they reached out to me and offered me this position, and I jumped at the chance for it. So I've been involved from ground zero with the Champions Barbecue Alliance. I think it's a great organization. I think we have a great vision for what we want to do in the future. I think this has potential to grow, obviously, beyond Texas, and kind of, eventually I think we're going to take over this barbecue scene for what we have. We have a great scoring tool. We have a great the way we do our judging system and our judging tools are by far the most technologically advanced. We're introducing a new members tool when is this going to air, boys?
Monday,
Monday,
whatever day Monday is.
All right,
that's
so
the
after
day.
Thursday. So we're introducing a new scoring tool for members that is going to be which members have never seen. We're going to have, you're going to be able to log in with your member number. You're going to be able to see every event you've done. You're going to be able to see where you lined up on a table. You're going to be able to see every event you had at your fingertips. So if you lost your paperwork or whatever it was, you're going to be able to log in as your member number, and you're going to be able to build your own page. So, Jonathan, if you had a member number, whatever it is, you're going to be able to go in there and see this, and then you can build it as you want. So if Brian went in there and looked you up, you'd have, some of your cool ass pictures from events and whatnot. This is just it's going to be a great,
It's almost like a link
scoring
tree.
tool, which no one offers. So getting at that, the Champions Barbecue Alliance is forward thinking. We are the most forward thinking organization out there. And basically, I became a part of it from doing what you guys are doing, what you guys are doing right now with the Grab 'em and the Brisket podcast and your TikToks and everything that you guys are doing for barbecue. That's how they found me, and I love being a part of it. So, What was the question?
No.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know what the question was, but I was going to say I really do appreciate the transparency that this organization is trying to relay, because you've been a part of a lot of organizations, and I say you, and I'm using me and everybody as a whole. You've been a part of all these organizations and cook-offs and different stuff, and it's like you lose a little bit of like, okay, here's first, second, third, boom, 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 here we go, here's the tickets, and like, well, how did I do? Like,
Right.
I
And James, I got to give some shit to you. You just now liked my So Smokin Gooder Show page.
I just did. I thought
Get it, James.
I'm horrible on Facebook right now. Like, I just I haven't been on it for like so long, and I
You're
was
the
like,
one that told me about that show.
Yeah.
That's great.
But his thing is, he's like, no, I already smashed that like button years ago.
I thought I did,
Right.
but
Right.
apparently I didn't. I just saw, like, I opened it up. I was like, shit, Rob sent me an invite. I was like, oh my God, how embarrassing is this shit? How long ago did he send that to me? I was
I
like,
got that earlier today. I was like, James Brian Moore likes the So Smokin. I was like, really? Come on,
Yeah.
dude. Come on.
He invited
I was
you in
like, shit.
2012, man.
I've been listening from day one. I was like, John, you got to check out this show.
Yeah. Now, we find it, obviously podcasting is been really rewarding in a lot of ways that I never really thought possible, to be honest with you. One is just having an outlet, right? Just to get what's off your mind a little bit. So we're not strictly, and I think that's how we kind of differ a little bit sometimes on our podcast, because we do a beer review and we do have this current events thing that we talk about.
Snoop Dogg rolling blunts or whatever.
Yeah, right. So we talk about that he pays a guy $70,000 a year or whatever it was, or $80,000 a year to travel with him, and all he has to do is roll blunts.
That's fucking
I
great.
probably would sign
What a
up for a
job.
year. I would sign up for 1 year for sure. Why not?
What a job.
Right? Yeah. I was like, do you have medical and dental? Yes, I'll take it.
Right. But how good are you at rolling blunts?
I would be really good by the end of the
Oh,
weekend.
man, if that was my
Yeah.
job, I'd be
Yeah.
fucking good.
I'd be doing
great.
I'd be doing one with each hand, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's
whatever.
That's a different kind of So Smokin Gooder,
Yeah.
right?
It's almost
Right
like
now.
it's almost like if you got invited, like I don't know, like we'll just say Robert Smith or hey, Rob Arocha. If he invited you, like, you're so good at wrapping a brisket,
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna pay you $50,000
To wrap
a
brisket.
year to travel with me forever
Wrap briskets.
to just wrap
That's great.
briskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're looking for somebody, Rob, I can wrap a brisket.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Look this up.
That's great.
Oh man.
That is great.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like we have been really enamored with the CBA. We have not cooked in it
We
yet.
keep saying we want to do it. Like, this is
And-
the top of the list. We
I
just
know.
haven't pulled
and
the trigger.
But a lot of guys right now I've seen are chasing points with the Frontier Fiesta. I think
Trying to get into Houston.
that's right. Everyone's kind of you have to find an avenue to get into Houston, right?
At least in this area.
You do, and used to back in the day, which I'm not sure if it's that way anymore. Used to you could win Pasadena and get an automatic invite to Houston, which I don't know if that's true anymore. I don't think
know if it is.
I don't think
Does
that one.
CBA have a thing like that where if you do so well, you might get into Houston?
Not yet. We're working on that,
Yeah.
and
Should be. Yeah. It'd be great.
there are some things coming down the line. I can't mention them yet, but there's some big contests that love what we're doing or looking at us, and so we'll see how it goes. But you can do the Metro Go Texan events.
That's right.
I think they're like
That's
I
what
think
I was
there's like
talking
8
about.
of them per year.
Yeah.
And so if you win, you have to do all 8. Well, I don't know if you have to do all 8, but you have to finish in the top 5 after the
Right.
8 contest series, and then you are getting a spot. So
No, you are,
Actually-
and that I actually meant to say that earlier. I said something different, but I was actually referring to the Go Metro.
yeah, so that's a cool thing to where you can do some of the Go Metro Texans. I think there's one in Minnesota, there's one in Spring Branch, there's one. There's like 8 of them. I don't know where they all are, but if you finish in the top 5 in those events, then you are guaranteed a spot. And so that's something that I think you guys should do, because I think you got to do well in that thing, because I don't know how hard it is or how easy it is, but I think
the
it's
levels,
something y'all make.
yeah.
I think it's something y'all should look into anyway.
Sure. So the competition level is getting harder. Alex Castro with Houston.
Yeah, that's how he got into Houston this year.
and
That's how he got in.
Yeah.
and that's
Joe-
how he's getting
Joe
in next
Castillo.
year. Yeah, and so I know the guys from Chasing More are going to chase these points with that as well to get in. And I you know what? I think if that's your goal and that's what you want to get in, you want to get into Houston. Yes, I think they actually expanded to 12 cook-offs this year
wow.
for
Okay.
the Go Metro. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic way to get there and compete. And one thing I saw that, and I don't know if this is different or not, but Alex got this last year. Alex got reserve grand for the Go Metro
Right.
version, but he did not make reserve grand for
Not the overall. Yeah.
Oh, the
Whatever it
overall,
is. I don't know what
right?
the different
It's-
subcategories
it was a whole
at
other-
Houston.
I didn't understand that. That was the only
Right.
thing I was like, what's
He did
happening
kick some
here?
ass. He got a couple of calls. So
He did. Yeah. He was up on the final stage, that's where you want to be. Like you want to
Right.
be on the final stage with that thing. It's amazing.
It's funny. We recorded with him out there this year, and he was like, he did so well. He's like, you have to come back next year. Like he's
Right.
got this
Oh,
little
he's-
tick now. Like you have to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
We can
Good
do
luck
it.
charm. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, our fees just rose just a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Let me ask you, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Did you got something?
No,
to say?
you're fine.
Okay. We always ask everybody, and there's a few icebreaker questions that we ask some of the new guests on the show, and I feel like we know you, so we just didn't go for those icebreaker questions because we're already like, okay. But let me go put it out there. So we always ask, first time getting drunk,
Horrible idea.
first car,
First concert.
or first concert. Any notable story you want to jump out there with, or do you want to let us know a barbecue fail?
I will do. I don't know if this was my first time getting drunk, but I think we're all in that same age range. I don't know if that's true or not.
So
25.
But we all grew up in this area, and do you guys remember Project Graduation?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so high school, right? You graduate from high school, and then you have this big party at the high school that you graduated from, and they open up the gym, and they open up the commons area, and they do this whole thing. Anyway, so we all graduated from high school, and to this day, I still don't drink tequila, but this was a big tequila story to where we were out there having good times, and the tequila shots were just flowing. And I just remember, well, that's one of the words I probably shouldn't mention because I don't remember, but I go into Project Graduation after being at some of these graduation parties, going in there and just passing out in the band room, which I don't know how I wound up there, but I remember waking up in the band room the next morning. Oof. I don't remember anything about Project Graduation, just a moment about it, but
That's
just
funny.
being there. And that's to this day, I'm just I'm still fearful of tequila. Now, if you have some good tequila, it's great, but
What
when you're
what school were you?
17, 18 years old, you don't have good tequila. You
Right.
don't have
No.
that.
Right.
You're the cheapest.
What
Yeah, the
school
cheapest.
were you?
I went to Northbrook High School in Spring Branch.
Okay. Yeah, we were Pearland for us.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we had that deal, and yeah, I don't remember much about the project graduation. I remember drinking before, showing up for a little bit, and then waking up the next morning and having to leave.
Right.
That's awesome.
That was my project graduation.
How was
story.
it? Like your parents are like, "Hey, how was it?" And you're like, "It was great."
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm just,
I
it was
loved
great.
it.
You had a great
Loved
time
it.
with my friends.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, we got to hang out, did all that. We watched movies.
Yeah,
All
right.
that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
don't remember any of that.
No.
Slept on a trumpet.
Right. I was about to say some poor bastard got like probably like puke in his trumpet or his it's like tuba.
Slept on a
Tuba's all
trumpet, yeah.
full.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
No, that was pretty much what I remember about that. But yeah, that was my my story there. As far as a barbecue fail, man, I've had probably a few of them, from burning grills to I've never missed a turn in. I am notorious for showing up 2 seconds before turn in.
Ooh.
But I've never let me knock on
I was about to say,
What's
you better
your-
knock
This is
on
not
some
even
wood,
there you go.
What's your favorite
Here's
time
wood.
for turn in? How about that?
So, my favorite time for turn in, I don't like to turn in early. I think if you turn in early, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. And I know that we had, IBCA, you got a 10-minute window, 10 before and 10 after. So there's a big 20-minute window. I don't think you're doing yourself any, I don't think you're doing yourself any good by turning in when the window opens. So if you got a 20-minute window and you're turning in at 11:51 for a 12-minute or 12-hour 12 o'clock turn in, but you have still 12 till 12:10, your food's just going to sit on a table just sitting there.
Yep.
Right. So I've always timed it to where at least I'm turning in within that 10-minute window behind that. So I just think, your food always tastes better when it's warm, right? Or when
Right.
it's hot. So I don't think you're doing yourself any good by turning in early. I think you need to time yourself to where you're turning in at least 10 minutes prior to that, because not only when you turn in, your food's still going to sit there for another 5 minutes. So if you're turning in at 10 minutes before the window ends, and then you're waiting until 10 minutes after, and then the food's not going to get delivered for another 5 minutes, you're sitting there for 25 minutes. Your food's just sitting there in a box where it's not.
Yep. Not to
Not
mention,
being cold. It's not being warmed up, or it's not being hot or whatever. So I always time myself 5 minutes before I need to be, right? And that puts you in some trouble sometimes, but I've never missed a turn in. So I'm always turning in. I'm always the guy that's running at the end. Not always, but a lot of times, to where I'm like, I've never missed a turn in, like I said, but
Yeah.
I'm always, I've been known to turn in with 2 seconds or with 10 seconds, and I don't like to do that. But at least a minute beforehand is my ideal turn in time. That way, it's not sitting there.
That's
At most,
pushing
it's
it.
sitting there for 5 to 6 minutes before it gets into a judge's face.
So-
Because I think you're just doing yourself. You're helping yourself, right? You're
Right,
not
right.
you're not hurting yourself at
Give
that
me
point.
anxiety
What-
just thinking about it.
So I've always thought about this, and I will say this: if you're going to cook and compete, you better go judge at least one time, right? See how the format
100%.
happens, watch it, but don't walk into it and sit at a table and watch it from that perspective. Watch outside and watch how they're lining everything up. Watch how the plates come in, how they stack the plates. Then start realizing, okay, where would I be in if I turned in at this time? So I always think like first one to turn in is the last one to taste, because they're going to walk around and they're going to take all these boxes, they're going to divide them up, and they're going to have all these different tables going across, right? But depending on how they stack, if they're picking a stack up and bringing a whole stack over and dropping on a plate on a table, right? The
Yours
last
is on the bottom.
Yours on the bottom. So you got to go through 8 or 10 before they get to yours. Now, maybe not be a bad thing, right? And you don't. It's like one of those things. You don't want to be the first one they taste, and you don't want to be the last one they taste. You want to be somewhere in that mix. You want them to have maybe a bad piece first, so they can score yours. There's so many random things that go into it, but there is a time, I think, if you were to look at all the timetables and when somebody turned in and how that correlated into how they did in the competition, I guarantee you could start to see a pattern of whatever. And there is a pattern there.
Turn in on the second half of
yes.
Oh, for sure.
the window
That's
as
right.
opposed to the first.
Right.
That's right.
That was Jan talking, right?
Correct.
Well, I was talking in the beginning. That was James at the very end.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfectly the way I think about it as well. Now with CBA, you only have a 10-minute window, so that kind of eliminates some of the coldness factor.
Yep.
But I still like to turn in at the very end if I can. And at the CBA, if you have 10 turn-ins, they're immediately going to the judges. So that's a different aspect. But if you were talking like the old school Lone Star or IBCA, where you have that 10 minute before and 10 minute after, I always like to turn in towards the end. And exactly what you were saying is why.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. So you're saying the new CBA, as soon as you turn it in, how long is it sitting there on the table before it's being judged?
So if you turn it in and they get 10 boxes,
Yep.
they go to the table
It's
immediately.
perfect. Oh,
they
that's
get
awesome.
they get distributed.
That is perfect.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's great.
And there's only a 10-minute window, so they're not sitting there at all very long to begin with. So in the CBA, so if the turn-in is at 12 o'clock, say chicken is at 12, ribs are at 1, pork is at 2, and brisket is at 3. That's standard. It'll always be the numbers.
Yep.
So your window for chicken is from 11:50 to 12:00.00. When you go to 12:00.01, you're late and you're disqualified. So you have a 10-minute window at all times. It's different. You got to get used to it.
Right,
But
yeah.
but when you do, it's great because you've been in a contest where you have that hour and a half turn in to where that's a long time, right?
Yeah.
If you're only doing 3 turn-ins, chicken, ribs, and brisket, you have an hour and a half in between. You're just kind of twiddling your thumbs. You kind of forget about it. You're like hanging out with your boys, and you're like, "Oh shit, I gotta fuck with ribs again," right?
Yeah.
When you have that hour, only that hour interval, you're always on your toes, right? You turn in,
Yeah, because you're cleaning
chicken at
and
12,
prepping for the
and then
very next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in I gotta fuck with ribs here in about 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And after you turn in ribs, pork is something where I spend all hour doing. So after I turn in ribs, I'm like, all right, let's start fucking with pork, and then after pork turned in, I got a little bit of time to where you got to mess with brisket. But you're always on your toes. You don't have that lag time to where you're just thinking about or you're hanging out with your boys, or you're doing other shit to where you just kind of forget about it because it happens, right? You're an hour and a half turn in, you're doing other shit, and like, oh shit, I forgot to put my brisket back on, right?
Yep.
It's different.
No, I totally agree. And I think that I do like that aspect. I mean, it's one of those things like as soon as you get done prepping or cleaning up, there's something else to be done. And I like those style of formats because you're grinding from really once you put your brisket on and that's been on for a few hours that morning and all those other categories start coming up, that part starts to grind. Putting the brisket on at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's definitely a lull that you're waiting and kind of going through the motions with. But I do like the fact that you have a lot of these competitions that you start having these turn-ins because I'm wrapping at this point on this protein and I'm prepping this protein at the same time and putting it on.
Yeah.
So I think it just works out.
So Rob, if folks want to see anything Bullhorn BBQ, CBA, So Smokin Gooder Show, where do they go to find you?
Yeah, guys. So you can find me on Instagram and Facebook for the Bullhorn BBQ, which is my barbecue team. You can that's where I kind of post all of my barbecue photos and whatnot and what I'm doing with the barbecue thing. But you can also find me. What we do is we also do a live barbecue show every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You can find us on. It's called the So Smokin Gooder Show. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and on TikTok. I know you guys are big TikTok guys. And this is great. We didn't talk too much about the show, but what we do on that show is we promote barbecue, kind of like what you guys do with what you're doing on different platforms like your TikTok and your Instagram and your podcast, which I love. This is something that we like to highlight, people doing different things, not so much the guys that are always doing well in barbecue. We do highlight those guys, of course, but we also highlight some up and coming guys. Like this weekend, we have a lady on. Her name is Amy Young. She does, she promotes barbecue through rubs. She's a big rub promoter, and she does, she highlights a bunch of these guys that are doing well in their rubs, and she promotes those guys. And she's also been all over the country doing these different events like the Jack and the American Royal, Memphis in May, all the big ones. She's been a part of it. So we're going to talk to her about her experiences with that. And so we just promote barbecue just like you guys do. And, it's just fun for us. We've been doing this. This is going to be our 5th year. We're having our 5-year anniversary on July the 14th. Hopefully you can come out. We're going to be doing this at the Cypress Rose Hill Beer Garden. We'd love to have the Grab 'em and the Brisket boys out there as well for that.
We'll definitely come out.
I appreciate that. That would be great if you could. And so we just promote barbecue just like you guys do, man. And I love seeing what you guys have grown with the Grab 'em and the Brisket podcast and the TikToks. It's great. So that's what we do. And you can find us on all social media, So Smokin Gooder Show, Bullhorn BBQ. That's where you can find us.
Awesome.
I love this, brother. Hey, listen, I will tell you right now, single-handedly, right, James, John, without listening to your podcast, you actually, listening to you and watching you do what you did, I was this in the very beginning, we'll say it again, it actually gave us, hey, man, maybe let's do a little something too.
Inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much, because you do have a phenomenal show. And you know what? Hey, you're award-winning barbecue. It's not like, listen, you're not a guy that's out there trying to attempt, I want to try barbecue. No, you've been successful for, 10-plus years. I mean, you've been kicking ass, taking names for a long time. And, we're just definitely appreciative to have you on, man.
Yeah. And I'll put it out there. I'm sad we didn't get too much into, or we didn't touch enough into the So Smokin Gooder Show.
We're going to have to do it again.
I wanted to get more in depth into that. So we have to have a part 2, right?
Yeah, let's
we
do
have
it.
to have Rob back on.
Let's do it. I'd love a part 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome. Well,
Hey guys, and I want to get you on my show for sure. It is a live show. It's a video show.
Let's
so
do it.
we got to show your pretty faces and do your thing for sure. Much success for you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on, and what you said earlier about me being an inspiration means the world to me. That's kind of cool. It's very cool. In fact, to seeing how you guys have grown and the fact that I was a little part of that is amazing to me, and it just kind of fortifies kind of what I'm doing. So I love hearing that, and much success for you boys, man, because it's fun to watch. I love watching your TikToks, and I love seeing the Brisket professors and all of it, and your lives. It's all good, man, and it's all promoting barbecue. And I love the fact that we're all Texas boys doing our thing.
Hell yeah, brother.
Love it.
appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, boys. Thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate it.
Take care, Rob.
Listen, I love really doing these podcasts. I love getting to talk to these to different unique people. And tonight was bringing on Rob, man. And Rob is definitely a spark for us, right? So,
Right.
yeah, man. I mean, the So Smokin Gooder Show, Rob Arocha, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We've had a lot of people on that have been like inspirations to us in barbecue and whatnot. But
Right,
as far as the podcast goes, for me at least, this is kind of it. I mean, this is kind of like the guy that I listened to his podcast. I was like, oh, we need to do that. I mean, we sit around and talk about barbecue all the time. We need to do that.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
It's awesome. I love it. I love that it came out, and we'll definitely do it again.
Go check out the So Smokin Gooder Show, and they go live on Facebook
Wednesday
and,
nights, yeah.
what was the other platform? Do they go live somewhere
not
else?
sure.
I think Facebook primarily, but
That's where
it's
I
like
watch it.
Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. I think it's Central Time. Go check it out.
100%.
Yeah,
It's Central
and we'll
Time.
put a bunch of links in the description of this episode where you can find all their stuff. So,
Yeah. I feel like we just have a jam-packed show, right? Is it jam-packed?
Jan-packed?
Is that what it is?
It might be a Jan-packed.
Is it a jam-packed show?
Do we want to hear about what our fans think about Jan?
We could. You guys want to hear what what our fans?
I would love to hear what fans think about Jan.
I'm gonna call it good.
Jan's a little bitch.
That's not.
There it is.
That's
what
not
our
a.
fans think of Jan.
That's not a fan. I don't know if that's a fan.
I'm a fan of him, so
I don't know what that guy's name is, but that's. I mean, I think he said something different. Y'all made that. Y'all made him say that or something, right?
Did I?
Yeah. I don't know. You're playing. I know what you're doing. You're playing the damn voicemail that dude left us, and I appreciate it, but like that's fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. I do have an actual voicemail from another listener.
All right, we got a voicemail coming up, and we also have. I guess we already touched on the barbecue news. I don't know what my brain's like.
Yeah, we did barbecue
going.
news. We're good. And I'm gonna go ahead and call this a barbecue win/fail.
Let's do it.
Because I like it. So, and I want to send this guy something.
There it is.
Here it is.
Hey guys, this is Greg, native Texan, living in Georgia at the moment, better known on Twitter as Greg6061. Awesome podcast, by the way. Started listening in April. As of May, June 17th, I am all caught up. Flew through them. Loved it. Keep it going, guys. Feels like I'm in there with you guys when listening.
Hell yeah.
No Ricky scores for me. Thanks for turning me on to Montucky. Finally got a 12-pack and can't turn it down. So smoke going, guys.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Hell
Hey,
yeah,
shout out
man.
to Greg there.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Smoke on, brother.
Love that. He started in April, and he's caught up.
In May.
That's 160 something episodes at this point.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Can we please send him something?
We're going to send him something. We're going to call that the barbecue win this week.
Okay.
And he's going to win something from...
Sucklebusters. Everybody wants some Sucklebusters.
I love it.
Yeah. Kudos to you, brother.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg.
Man, that's crazy. Think about that. I love that. Here's the deal. I'm a fan, and I listen. I listen to our shows. I dissect them. I think about how we can get better and what we can do and this and whatever else. But for somebody else to listen, I'm always like, are you sure you listen to it? Like, what?
Right.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. It
That
really is.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, if you could go back and listen to each of them again,
Yeah.
we just need to keep building those stats. So,
Yeah.
but actually, we were talking about this earlier. And we were like,
Are you talking to Jan?
I'm talking to both of you.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about he's fresh on this, right? Like he's listened to all these recently, far more recently than I have, or I'm assuming you have. What was your favorite, Greg? Is there any points you're like, oh, that's a highlight of this show? Like, I want to know, like, what do you think?
No, I totally agree with you. Yeah,
Right.
like what did you
shoot
find?
us? Yeah, shoot us your favorite episode. Like,
Yeah,
what's
or
your
favorite little story, or
favorite moment?
or if John is your favorite, or if he's
Or maybe
number one.
I don't know if you want to say
Right.
Jan. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
We're trying to be serious here, Jan.
Let's just do this. You know?
But at the end of the day, honestly, guys, it's been great talking barbecue with you guys.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We've been great.
Dang it, Bobby. Just grab the brisket. We'd like to give a special thanks to Sucklebusters Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, Bolner's Fiesta Spices, CoolieNation Custom Koozies, Cambro Manufacturing, YETI Coolers, the Smoke Sheep Barbecue Newsletter, and Dalstrong Knives. We definitely appreciate your support.